right, good morning, good day. Thank you for being here. Let's begin. So we establish ourselves in a posture that helps us establish a connection to our breath. So our posture serves our breath, and our breath serves our awareness, our unfolding, our exploration, our discovery, our emergence. So we want to support our breath, so our breath can support us. When I'm beginning seated, I personally like a vertical alignment. There's a very fine degree of sensing that can be kind of massaged, if you will, through the very center of body and brain, head to tail. Feel the shoulders and the hands relax, deepening breath gently. For our pranayama today, we'll continue a bit of that Brahmari that I know we were doing yesterday. So let's begin with 3 rounds of Brahmari. This can be as soft or as out loud as you like. The tone can be as low or as high as you please. We're just getting the felt sense of buzz moving through our cells. 3 rounds Brahmari on our own. And reconnect to your Ujjayi breath. And anytime throughout our practice, if you want to insert a round of Brahmari, so that you can reestablish that sense of buzz, motion, vibration. You want to feel that again in your body. It's a helpful way of glimpsing ourselves, our bodies, as alive beings. So sound is kind of a close cousin and a helpful way of glimpsing, feeling that aliveness. Let's move our feet, soles of feet together for side bend in Baddha Konasana. Right hand beside, inhale, left arm up. Exhaling, we're side bending to our right. So simultaneously sinking left sit bone down and lifting fingertips away from left sit bone. Now these next two breaths, feel for gently just blossoming the ribs, the rib cage, the rib muscles under that left shoulder blade. Just learning if those muscles can start to wake up, those ribs move. Inhale, bring that left arm up and over. And we move centrally. We'll fold forward, bring hands in front of shins, and we'll just a simple walkout. You don't have to pull or, use a whole lot of muscle, arm muscle. But important here is softening the back of the neck. Glide the shoulders away from the neck. So if you've tended to hike the shoulders, drawing the shoulders down will just help make that evident. So all these little moves are just ways of kind of helping us learn, oh, I didn't notice that before. Oh, I do that. Oh, I feel that when I do that. I feel that when I notice that. So we're getting really clear on our interior, our experience. And again, soften all the way through those neck muscles, base of skull. Really just let that head hang. Because what is possible is breathing deeply with a relaxed neck. There's a certain degree of override that the neck can provide, and I actually want us to take that override off for a moment so we can feel what's truly occurring for us. That's it. There we are. Good. And when we inhale, we'll walk our hands up, and side bend on the other side is left hand down, right arm up. And then exhaling, reaching with the right hand away from right sit bones. And again, we'll relax the neck here. In a sense, we are hardwired to use our eyes, use our head to help us reach, move, mobilize towards something. But here, rather than mobilizing toward something, if we soften, we can sense interiorly. There's a different quality of, there's a different perception. All right, inhale, bring that right hand up and over, coming upright. Help your legs together, and we'll set up dolphin prelude. Prelude will keep our elbows and our knees on the ground. We'll be shifting our hips back. I'll describe it. So if you need to set up extra padding under your knees, so for dolphin prelude, I clasp the hands, I separate the knees about mat width, and I step them back. And so now I'm engaging this sit bones back, lengthening move. Keep the elbows planted. And when I reach back and I feel a little snug or tug somewhere in the ribs or the skin or the back, I just pause right there, soften the neck, connect to deep breath. As you're exhaling, as you soften the neck, it's possible the sit bones shift back more, another ½ inch or so. Just letting ourselves become the noticing, the feeling, the awareness itself. Be sure it matters what we're noticing, but also in a sense, it just matters that we're feeling, that we're in a awareness mode. We're listening with our body. We're listening to our body. We're listening through our body. Now in this dolphin prelude, you got a good little stretch going. Let's bring in another round of Brahmari. So let that inhale stretch into that upper back of heart, and let the sound, the exhale, buzz it up. I hope you're noticing that when we work Brahmari, when we work with sound, there's almost this kind of automatic byproduct of a lengthened exhale, which is a really cool way to just help downshift our pace. So when we shift out of dolphin prelude, we're setting up directly into dolphin. So our hands, our forearms on the ground, inhaling into those upper back regions, up by under the shoulder blades. The toes curl under. Exhale the knees off the ground. Soften neck. Now separate feet at least hip width. Now, listen first before you make a move. I want you to hear what we're about to do, because you may want to leave your arms exactly where they are. In a moment, we'll remove just one arm at a time from the ground. If your shoulders are good or ready or fine with this move, we'll begin with the left. Now, if you have some shoulder concerns, I would much rather you remain stably put with 2 forearms down. So here we go, starting with that left elbow. Perhaps the fingertips I can move away from the ground. And I'm placing my left hand on the small of back, my sacrum. With my hand there, I can get a feel for breathing into the sacrum and breathing into the shoulder next to that relaxed neck. So I'm going to shift or feel my left hand moving away from brain. All right, let's switch sides. So we set the left forearm down. As we shift our weight, I take the right elbow from the ground, possibly the right fingertips. You can place your right hand behind back. When you do, if you do, relax that neck. And then deepen breath so that you can not only breathe into the pelvis and the midribs, but you can breathe into those more apical structures, the top dome of your rib cage. The more you let that neck relax, the more it's helpful to press through that left arm. All right, let's exit by setting the right hand down, placing the knees down. And we'll lie on our back so we can bring some of that great breath to our abdomen, our organs, our pelvis. And just as a reminder, I'm going to give a lot of the same reminders, but please offer yourself these care actions of if you're working with a sacral issue, if you're working with some back tenderness, you can always keep the feet down. Okay. No issues. Let's bring the feet up. There will be a little more intra-abdominal pressure. So when I take my feet up, I'm already preparing for more breath pressure in and around the organs and the abdomen. There's going to be more work. Inhale into that abdomen, into the back muscles as you lift the head and the shoulders up. It's all right that there's that pressure. Curl tailbone, exhale the left leg outreach. Pull low belly down like taffy. Belly down, leg reaches up. Inhale, bend that left knee. I'm going to pause right here. Keep the back contacting the ground. Exhale, reach the right leg out. And again, the back maintains contact with the ground and pull low belly down. So we're all Wow, super familiar. Let's continue. We'll just do 4 more on our own. Keep that small of back, that low back space kind of sealed to the ground. It's just part of an awareness move, bringing our feeling awareness into the back in the form of breath. Now, if that's not challenging enough for you, just keeping the back on the ground as you go through this, then you start to add the perturbation of reaching your elbows toward the bent leg. Because as you reach, there's a tendency to roll, and therein is you get your challenge of keeping the back to the ground. And just noticing from side to side. Okay, so just for example, I'm reaching my right leg out, but I reach those elbows toward the left. And it's a little bit of a problem solve, if you will. It's just feeling how that back can stay on the ground under this degree of perturbation. When we treat the elbow reach like so, as a form of perturbation for us to learn and feel our low back, I bet our twists and all of those kinds of moves will start feeling different. So I just keep it's kind of just a nice baseline check for our hips, our breath. All right, we'll do the same with a roll between the legs, twisting abs with a mat. Let's bring the legs straight up. And again, I'll be cueing us to move or reach our elbows either toward the right thigh or toward the left thigh. And you're reaching with some intent. And the intent of reaching will start a little bit of a motion that will be tending to in the low back. Here we go. Inhale, float the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. So you feel the back contacting the ground. It keeps that contact as we squeeze the roll. Exhale, curling tailbone. Reach the elbows toward the right thigh, but more importantly, feel the back maintain contact with the ground. Keep reaching. At some point, it starts to get a little dicey or a little uncertain. That's cool. Pull low belly down right there. Good. Inhale, come back center. Feel your breath spread into the back. Squeeze the roll. And now exhale, reach your elbows toward the left. As I reach, I'm perturbating. I'm kind of messing around with the back contact. So I keep reaching, and when that back contact is on the brink, I pull that low belly down. Inhale, come back centrally. Squeeze the roll. Curl tailbone, exhale, reach the elbows toward the right. I'm reaching toward the right, but tending to my low back. It keeps contact. Oop, it's starting to get a little less contacty, but that's perfect. Pull low belly down. Inhale, come back centrally. This last side, last one. Squeeze the roll. Exhale, curling tailbone. Now reach elbows out toward your left thigh. Feel the back contact to the ground. Maintain. If it starts to get a little quaky or quivery, perfect. pull low belly down right there. Inhale, come back centrally, set the head down. Exhaling, set the feet down. Remove the roll. And let's turn onto a side, pressing to standing. Let's step into horse stance. Eagle in horse stance. Horse stance, a wide stance. Inhale, reach arms out to the side. Opening up the hands, active feet. Exhale. We'll start with the left elbow over the right. Link hands. And connect to your deep Ujjayi breath. I'm pressing through feet as if floating, maintaining a working lightness in the hip sockets. And inhaling, unwind. We'll keep the horse stance as we go directly into the other side. Exhale the right over the left. By staying in horse, we might get a little warmth starting to develop. Relaxing the neck, the eyes, the jaw, the mouth. Even as that intensity accrues a little bit, just keep softening the eyes, the mouth, the jaw, the neck. And then inhale, unwind arms, straighten legs. Turn left foot to your left. We'll be setting up a neck release in this extended warrior variation. So adjusting for warrior 2. Inhale, take that left forearm to the thigh. Exhaling, take right hand, reach behind back. And just latch into waistband or onto thigh. Soften through the neck. Now, with that neck just somewhat softened, feel for breathing under the shoulder girdle, the sternum. Reaching between the collarbone and the shoulder blade. Good. Sink that right heel away from your collar. And release. Inhale, bring the hands down. Exhaling, we'll step that left foot back and lower from plank to ground. And you're welcome to use your knees, especially if you're kind of scoping through the shoulders carefully. Okay. Cobra. Reach back, big toes from navel. Inhale, draw navel away from toes. sternum away from navel. Exhaling, lower, downward dog. Softening neck. And we can go with very active feet and hands, but soften the neck, deepening breath. There we go. Yeah. There's just a totally other degree of feeling awareness when that override switch, that neck engagement is just turned down momentarily. It's really astonishing. Inhale, right foot forward, warrior two stance. And we're getting a little bit into the neck. So we exhale, the right forearm to the thigh, and the left hand behind the back. Grab onto a most convenient article. And just softly, softly. Just finding out what could I let go of in the neck. And then, that's just the beginning, remember. Oh, I feel a little something softening in the neck. Connect to a deeper breath. Here's my hypothesis. When we relax the neck and we deepen our breath and we feel that deeper breath in and with our body, I wonder if evidence of feeling more deeply, core-centrically, like if that becomes possible. Getting a clearer sense of core as we relax neck. For me, the importance of feeling core resides a lot in resonance, being able to listen with people, be with people comfortably and quietly. And release that left hand. Let the head, let the neck just continue to be soft as we inhale the hands down to the ground. Exhaling right foot back, lowering plank to ground. Inhale, cobra. And pulling, lifting, moving upper back away from mid back. Exhale, lower, downward dog. Interlock warrior. Inhale, left foot forward. And so we exhale the left arm under the thigh, the right arm around the back. So powerful right leg reach. I'm sinking that right heel into the earth. Shifting that thigh bone softly away from the hip and the waist. Inhaling into that right waist, lengthening guts away from that right thigh. Chest bones, lifting away from guts. Neck soft. And release. When we inhale, the hands down to the ground. Set the right knee down for lunge. Padding is optional. Pressing legs down would draw the arms up. Wow, I'm using my buttock muscles to shift that tailbone kind of at left heel. Good. Now deepen breath. We've got a good stance. We've got a good leg configuration. There's some sensing. We can sense our legs working or a stretch. Connect to our deep breath. So it's in those perception moments, those feeling moments, like, oh, I feel a thing. Correct. Connect to breath. So the feeling is riding with the breath. To me, the breath behaves a bit like an enzyme, like an experiential enzyme, right? It helps kind of break up and make sense of the experience. It's like chewing. Like if I just experience without breathing, it's like swallowing food whole. But if I breathe as I allow the experience to occur, I breathe fully, I breathe deeply. It's almost like an experiential enzymatic action that just helps soften it. Sensing becomes more readily possible. Now inhale, let's back our hips out of lunge as we prepare for twisting lunge. Exhaling, hooking the right elbow over the left thigh. Right over left. So I'm breathing into that low belly and that low back like I had done those abdominals. To me, this is just another iteration of those twisting abs with a roll. It's like I'm not letting my legs wobble left or right. I'm breathing into that abdomen, into the low back. And as I'm exhaling, I'm turning, I'm twisting. There's perturbation through the spine, but I'm letting that occur through the upper ribs, mid ribs. I'm not twisting my low back. There we go. Inhaling, unwind. Hands to ground. Exhaling, chaturanga. Now, if it's right for you, continue with cobra. Once I lower, I'm going to choose upward dog. So inhale, come up, cobra or upward dog, your flavor. Exhaling, downward dog. We've got an interlock. Inhale the right foot forward. Now exhaling the right arm under the right thigh, left hand behind the back. Lunge, release hands, inhale, we'll unwind, setting the left knee down. Establish that foot plant, drawing the arms up. Now we draw the arms up to lift the torso, the body up. So we are creating a little bit of a stretch, especially if we wrap the shoulders. We're getting those tissues to broaden a little bit. That's it, Brett, that's it. There you go. There it is, there it is. So this is good. Y'all put on a little extra reach, which is fantastic. Now connect to breath inside of this reachier reach. The legs are pressing. That's it, that's it. And just explore and sense, what is my breath like now while I'm reaching up, expanding the ribs. And there's no wrong answer. So it's not like we have to formulate a certain experience, but remain in that explore or that curiosity mode. Right? Even just remaining in a listening, curious mode, regardless of content, is so valuable. Okay? Now here's that twisting lunge. Inhale, we shift the hips back. Breathing into that abdomen and into that low back. My legs are working stably as I exhale, hooking that left elbow over the right thigh. To me, this is just exhaling, reaching elbows toward right thigh. Without my pelvis wobbling to or fro. Right? Now breathing into the low back. Just like our abdominals. This is what our abdominals help us prep. Breathing into the spine, spine deep. Finding out how to breathe and be very stable or strong in a position. Inhaling, unwind. When we go hands down, exhale, step back, chaturanga. And you'll select whether you inhale to cobra or upward dog. So inhale, pressing up or pulling up. Exhaling, downward dog. Neck so soft. So we're going to revisit our half moon. First, inhale the left foot forward. Knowing that we're getting into half moon, decide if you want a block nearby. I'm taking one more setup move. I'm going with the right hand behind back. So I'm going to grab onto my own thigh. This is optional, but it's going to put a little more chest opening into my half moon. And left hand goes down. Right heel elevates, hip height. Left foot active, soft neck. Even if you're looking at the ground for support, for visual or balance support. Now I'm pressing that right heel away from collar. Inhaling into right collar, lifting the chest bones away from the leg, away from the guts. As I plant firmly through that left hip and heel, the neck, the jaw may soften. If you feel a little smushed in the back, you got to guide that tailbone toward the right heel is usually helpful. So you're using those deep muscles by the glute and the deep inner groin, kind of sit bone area muscles. It's not clenching the anus area. It's not clenching the pelvic floor. It's using the butt muscles. You still want to be able to breathe into pelvis. This is a great place to breathe into pelvis. Or at least notice and sense, how am I breathing into pelvis? Open up that right hand. Inhaling, set that right foot smoothly, carefully, softly down to the ground. Warrior One stance. So push, push, push your feet into the earth. Come upright. Let the arm relax for a moment. And when you're ready, inhale, draw the arm up, Warrior One. Now, that leg connection to the ground. Keep that. On exhale, twisting warrior. Hook that right elbow over the left thigh. Letting that breath flow again. Inhaling, unwind, hands to ground. Exhaling, chaturanga. So a step back, lowering. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. All right. So in setting up half moons, I inhale. Step the right foot forward. Okay. And maybe we're starting to notice how the breathing and the stepping is occurring. If it's like a leg throw, breathe later, or if they're starting to link up and sync up more. So for half moon, I'm getting this optional left hand grabbing thigh. Then I find my block. Raising left heel. Noticing, feeling the quality of breath in this configuration. So how do I support my breath so my breath can support me? Well, I use my butt muscles to get my feet active. So my foot muscles are involved in this pose. Delivering breath into that low back where you feel your left wrist or your left forearm. And just working this like our abdominals, our abdominal breathing, reaching out through the legs. As I use my low belly, it kind of shifts my tailbone. It frees up my low back, which is very cool. And inhaling the chest bones away from my left wrist. When I release the left hand, inhale, step that left foot smoothly and softly down to the ground. And I really like slowing this down so that I have to use my foot. I have to use my foot in communication with my hip. That's just fun. Let the arm hang out for a moment, just in case it was wrapped up with decreased blood flow. And let's go inhale, arms up, warrior one. There's only one more pose on this side. All right, establishing that leg reach, and we'll exhale, twisting warrior, hooking the left elbow over the right. So if we were feeling and noticing in our abdominals, our twisting abs with a mat, right? So we're reaching our elbows toward one leg or another leg. Let's say we're perturbating, we're kind of rocking and rolling the body and also catching it. So we're not rocking and rolling as much, we're stabilizing in a sense. You'll probably feel those abdominal sidedness, any of those asymmetries, show up in our twist. Okay. But you might feel it as one hip burns a little bit more than the other. You might feel it as it's easier to twist one way more than another. And release. Inhale, we'll unwind, hands to ground. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. Final move. Step your feet under you. And let's have both a strap and a squat. If you need heel elevation, you can get a blanket or some such. The strap is optional, but it's there if you need it. Okay. So I'm going to start with my feet as closely together as I can, but heels down. So heels can be down on anything, but heels must be down on something. So I'm going to start with my right armpit against my inner right thigh or knee. Just pass the left hand all together. Just go right by your leg, go behind the back, latch on. So I'm hooked around my right shin only. Wow. Now I've got to use my feet muscles. My feet, my shin, my everything muscles down there. I'm connecting the inner leg. The inner legs, I'm kind of squeezing them a bit, grabbing the floor, using my foot muscles. I'm turning my chest to the left. Not just pulling my chest to the left, I'm turning. So I'm turning from inside, and my arms support that a little bit. Release. I'm going to move into crow before I go to the other side. Consider this totally optional, but it gives me a chance to use my foot muscles to press my heels up, to plant those shins near the armpits, and to lift my butt away from my hands. Whether you choose crow or not is perfectly fine. But when I set the feet down, I'm going into the other side. My left armpit Left arm wraps around my left shin, okay, or Pashasana, I believe. My right arm passes clear away and around my back. So it's just my left arm that's hooked around my leg. Weight in both feet. There you go. That's a nice close stance. That's cool, Joy. It's also a little more challenging. You don't have to change the distance of your feet, but it can be more challenging just turning, pointing the toes forward. Mm-hmm. Neck relaxed. And release. We're going to set up for Shavasana. So have a gentle seat. You're only inches from the ground. And lie back. We'll take a rest. We consciously bring online our breath, our movement, our sensing, or our awareness. Note how your experience of simply lying, sensing with your body, feel how this is now. And if you need a point of comparison, the beginning of your morning can serve as a reference point. Feel how we're feeling. Notice how we're noticing now. These are tools for awareness. Tools for enhanced and refined feeling awareness. When you're ready, bend knees. Turn to a side. And use both hands, press to seated. Namaste.